Sambit Patra of the BJP, D.R. Rai, former senior vice president of the Indian Medical Association, Ami Yagnik of the Congress, Khushbu is a well-known activist and actor, formerly with the DMK, and Kavita Krishnan, national secretary of the All India Progressive Women's Association. Kavita, you know, this whole attitude that there's nothing significant out here, the whole response of the BJP in this case, the state government is not responsible. The doctor cannot be blamed. It's all one mistake. We'll investigate, the BJP says. I mean, what is left to investigate? From the facts at hand, it is quite clearly a case of using these women as guinea pigs to break some godforsaken record.
See, this is it should be called a massacre. It is one of Chhattisgarh's many massacres of poor women. And, I remember Dr. Binayak Sen at one point talking about, very recently when I met him, talking about structural violence against the poor in our country. This is actually a structural massacre, which is stemming from the target-driven population control policies, whereby a government sits and decides which communities are supposedly reproducing too much, and the government then sets out to control and set targets and decide how many women need to be made incapable of reproducing. This is not about women having control over their own lives and their own bodies. I would like to ask the BJP government of Chhattisgarh, you know, they have an ad which has been running about how it's an investor-friendly state, and how their forests and minerals are up for grabs.
They've spent
how is it that you are, why is the Chhattisgarh, I myself am from Chhattisgarh, why is it that Chhattisgarh continues to have this kind of camp-based health care? Why is it that the regular availability of medical care, of hospitals, of women's informed choice about what form of contraception they would like to adopt, all of that, none of that is there. And what you have instead is that you periodically herd up the poor women and decide that you need to prune the numbers of certain sections of the population. And you are giving awards.
83 and women, Sambit Patra. 83 women. I mean, this level of, you know, abject humiliation of people. You make them lie down on the floor and you carry out 83 surgeries in 5 hours.
That this doctor was awarded. You know, if you're blaming the doctor today, let us remember that the same government awarded the doctor saying, oh, he's performed 1 lakh laparoscopic sterilization surgeries. You were awarding him for breaking records for meeting these huge, enormous targets. And it is precisely that policy that is the killer policy here, that is behind this massacre.
Sambit Patra, why has this massacre been allowed?
No, definitely, Arnab. I mean, this is something which is inexcusable. This is something which today on the Times Now debate, I am not going to defend anyway. The one who is indefensible is indefensible. I should not defend anyone who has...
So should Raman Singh step down?
Such kind of heinous crime, I would say. Just a second, and I would not shout, I would not raise
my voice. Should the health minister step down?
Doctor than a spokesperson. Just a second, Arnab.
No, would you do this kind of surgery yourself? You're a doctor. Make women lie down on the floor, operate them in 4 minutes.
Not.
And is this being allowed because the women are poor?
It is not. Definitely not.
Are you exploiting poor women?
It is not possible. It is not possible, it is not thinkable, I cannot even imagine
but it has happened in a BJP government.
Women being operated in 5 hours is possible, it is not possible. I don't know.
It has happened under a BJP government.
And that's the reason as to why an FIR has been registered.
Is this the Achhe Din you promised?
And that's the reason
as to why the Achhe Din you promised? You used to say Achhe Din aane wale hain. Ye kis tarah ke Achhe Din hain ki 13 औरतें इस तरह के हालात में उनको मारा गया है, किस तरह के अच्छे दिन हैं?
It's 15 women now.
गरीब लोगों के लिए अच्छे दिन कब आएंगे?
Arnab, when we have such an important issue.
Yes, it is an important issue. The issue is you allowed this to happen because they are poor women.
No, Arnab, you have to listen to me in the sense that it's such a serious issue.
You have not gone beyond saying it's a serious issue. Of course, I know it is.
The issue. We should not bring the issue of politics over here.
Why is the health minister of the state?
We should not speak about all these issues.
Why is the health minister of the state not being sacked?
Ms. Kavita may do the honors of keeping quiet for a while than trying to play a Binayak Sen card over here. This is my sincere request to Kavita. Kavita, you are a woman activist, so-called woman activist. You should stop playing this Binayak Vinayak Sen card over here. We are all serious about this issue.
What do you mean
Let's
Vinayak
talk
Sen card?
seriously
At
on
least
this.
he was providing healthcare to the
we all
poor
know
women
what is the
whom you're
Vinayak
busy
Sen
killing.
card. Please, can you
Your
stop
government
playing
is
that
busy
and
killing.
let me just state the fact
And what do you mean
that we are
Vinayak
very
Sen card?
serious about this issue. We are very serious about
No,
this
what's the
issue.
Vinayak
And
Sen
let's
card?
handle it in a very
He's
mature
somebody who's
manner.
been talking
And
about
I
the
say,
right of
who is politicizing?
access to the
should
poor
never be
people of that
defended.
state.
Those who have heard will have to go, will have to face the music.
Why is the health minister of the state not being sacked? Why is the central government silent on the policy of population control, and why the target-driven policies are still being allowed, even though in 1996 India has promised to abandon target-based targets? Why is it that funding from
Ms.
agencies
Kavita, can
like
I answer?
DFID
Today,
and
because I would
USAID
not
and
enter
Gates
into any
Foundation
kind
are
of
busy
cacophony.
playing
If
havoc
you
with
can
the
keep
lives
quiet,
and
I will
health
begin
and
my
bodies
answer.
of India's
Mr.
poor women
Sambit Patra,
in the name of population control.
Mr. Sambit Patra is a doctor. And I wish tonight he would have realized the inhumanity that has been perpetrated on these people, and just because he happens to be a spokesperson of the
Why do you wish?
BJP
I have
does not have
already
to
realized
defend the
that.
indefensible. One second, Mr. Patra. I also don't want to shout, but if required I will to make my point tonight.
Botched up the whole case, and that's the reason.
There was another health
we have
camp.
the bars.
Khushbu, let
Who
me
is
get
supporting
you
the doctor,
in.
by the way?
Mr. Khushbu, let me get you in, and let Ami Yagnik come in, let Dr. D.R. Rai come in. There was another health camp.
Arnab, I would like to know if anybody has apologized to what has happened. Has anybody taken up the responsibility, saying that we have botched up these cases? It was a target-based
No.
surgeries we were looking at.
No.
And we are extremely... why? I mean, what is the...
Because the women who died were
the
poor.
health minister is not apologetic.
Because the women who died were very poor.
And who decides who's going to get the sterilization done? How can a person decide? How can the government, how can the health department decide as to these women needs to get sterilized? And because it's a record, because the doctor probably needs another award, felicitation from the government.
Shameful.
And you say that it's going to be target-based surgery, that, okay, Chhattisgarh has again an award-winning doctor who has performed so many surgeries. What are we looking at? Where are we heading?
Well,
what are we talking about? Who's responsible for
83 women.
all these
83 women. 83 women, Sambit Patra. 83 women made to lie down on the floor of an abandoned hospital. 83 poor women made to lie down like animals on the floor of an abandoned hospital.
The entire family is orphaned. When a woman dies in a family, the head of the woman dies in a family, the entire family is orphaned. Do they even realize what they have done? Why nobody's apologetic about it? Why there's no apology here? And why nobody's taking up the responsibility?
Because they are poor women. I'm asking tonight.
So who talks to them? We are talking about poor women. We are talking about उनके लिए अच्छा कुछ करने वाले हैं.
उनके अच्छे दिन कब आएंगे?
उनके लिए कुछ करने वाले.
ये 83 औरतों को, संबित पात्रा अब डॉक्टर है, 83 औरतों को एक अबैंडन हॉस्पिटल जहां में कोई मरीज को रखा नहीं जाना चाहिए, उनको वहां पे फ्लोर पे रखा जाता है और 3-4 मिनट में सर्जरीज होती है इस तरह से कि उनके लाइफ को रिस्क किया जाता है, किसी भी तरह के आउटडेटेड ड्रग्स दिए जाते हैं. मैं तो ये कहना भी नहीं चाहता, बट आई विल से इट टुनाइट. Non-sterilized surgical equipment was used. Non-sterilized, your central government has said non-sterilized surgical equipment was used. You took chances with these people.
That's the reason as to why.
One second. What is there to see? What is there to see? And there is another camp which was conducted in a private charitable hospital. The hospital has been closed and abandoned for a year now. All these women were made to lie down on the floor for the tubectomies. Ami Yagnik. For tubectomy operation, Sambit Patra knows, they are told, lie down on the floor. And one by one, like a goddamn circus, we will operate on you there. Every rule has been broken.
And now let Mr.
Every single rule has been broken.
And now let Mr. Patra say what was the health secretary doing?
Yeah.
Who were the health workers who got this poor and disadvantaged class women from their homes forcibly for these operations? Where is the biomedical waste apparatus? What has happened to the drugs which were supplied? Who supplied? What was this chain of the whole incident that has happened? So many departments are involved. And why have you not told the health minister just to step down? Apart from moral responsibility, there are legal procedures. They have to land up in jail. If a common doctor commits a medical negligence even on one patient, he is behind bars. Now here are a group of people who are involved in this massacre, and there is nobody to say. And the health minister says, I don't take decision, my party takes decisions. So where is the party which is doing all this kind of taking all these decisions? And what is this party doing about targeted massacre? What is it up to? They have to come and tell.
And I'm saying tonight, I'm saying this tonight. I'm going to open up the phone lines tonight, and I'm saying this tonight, that this is a systematic killing of poor people. This is 1 second, sir. 1 second. You know, I'll tell you more, Sambit Patra. In fact, you're a doctor. Your head should hang in shame at what has happened. And I feel if there's any morality, then Raman Singh should resign tonight. And the BJP should ask Raman Singh to resign tonight. Because, you know, the violation is so extreme. The state government did nothing to limit the damage. There was one camp on Saturday in Pendari. On Sunday, the hospitalizations and complaints from the patients began, which means you knew that the patients were suffering. They were almost critical. And on Monday, another camp of the same type was held in Pendra in another place. And out of the 26 people operated there, 20 people have had problems. Who visited the private charitable hospital?
And Arnav, if there was some industrialist, there would have been helicopters flown to this place by the BJP. Where is the medical aid? Where are the 108 ambulances? Where are those hospitals? Where is the fund for medical health care for women?
How dare you treat poor people like this? How dare anyone treat poor people like this? And how does the state government point fingers only at the doctor? Of course, there is a doctor who was the approved panel which allowed them to conduct such an operation. Yes, Dr. D.R. Rai wants to come into the debate. Lines are open. Sambit Patra, I want you to hear from the people tonight. Yes.
No, am I only meant for hearing today?
Yes, no, you need to hear them today because you are the BJP representative and it's a BJP government.
So I should be speaking.
So you ought to have the same standards for everyone.
Questions. And if you say, I just want to hear.
And I want to know who is taking responsibility. Yes, Dr. Rai.
If you allow me to speak,
it's really very, very shocking for the society. It's very, very shocking, deplorable for the others also. And particularly as a doctor, I am ashamed of this thing. How the administration is keeping mum. It is administrative failure. And I am surprised that Raman Singh ji, our Honorable Chief Minister, has taken action against a doctor. What the health secretary and what the other peoples were doing there, when it has been proved that spurious medicines are the main cause of this thing. Because just the operation has gone very successfully. Even the patient was discharged on that day, and after 1 day the patient started having the pain and continuous vomiting and the fall in the blood pressure. Immediately they should have thought. Even the team which has gone to the Bilaspur from Allied Institute of Medical Sciences, they have also told it may be due to the drug reaction. And one thing more I want to just tell you, today it was not the case of sterilization. Today, one gentleman, a male patient, has taken medicine in the Bilaspur.
Yes.
And he has collapsed in the government hospital.
You're poisoning people instead of curing them. You're poisoning people. You're poisoning poor people instead of curing them. You think this country will just watch while this terrible, cruel game goes on? People are being poisoned in government hospitals?
Yes, not a single. Only to fill the targets. I mean, the health policy has to be, the population policy has to be rewritten. Why the government is giving a target to the doctors, and whenever something is happening to the doctor only, why did they never think? Why they never think it is an administrative failure? Why the people are forcing them to do the vasectomy and other things, or the tubectomy? I think there are a lot of things which we have to see. Who is responsible? Health Secretary is responsible. And you know, I got a clippings with me. The CMHO has purchased the medicine out of the law. He has not followed the rules and regulations laid down in the purchase. A local pharma company they have purchased, and those medicines are causing all the things. I think this is very, very deplorable. Rather today, Raman Singh ji would have taken action against the minister.
I'll tell you, is this a rich person's government?
Administrative person.
क्या ये एक मिनट जो सिंपल क्वेश्चन नीड्स टू बी आस्क्ड, जिनके पैसे वालों की सरकार है छत्तीसगढ़ में, Because the Chhattisgarh government, and let me tell Mr. Sambit Patra today, I hope he responds as an Indian citizen and a human being and a doctor and not just a BJP spokesperson, because the Chhattisgarh government, ladies and gentlemen, spends, listen to me, 6 lakh rupees per day.
Government cannot differentiate.
6 lakh rupees per day. 6 lakh rupees per day. 21 crores per year is spent by the Chhattisgarh government to keep its VVIPs flying. This is a disclosure. They want to fly in choppers called the Augusta chopper, and they fly around in the B-200 aircraft. These are the luxuries the Chhattisgarh government provides itself.
The practice of supplying spurious drugs. Arnav, Mr. Patra should answer what is this corrupt practice of supplying spurious drugs and using abandoned hospitals. Where does the fund go for making hospitals for welfare? Where does the fund go? What kind of practices does the Raman Singh government follow?
Whatever you will say.
You find this something to smile about, Mr. Dr. Patra? You find this funny?
Now, how can I speak if you do not allow me to speak? I'm really wondering how can you do this? I mean, you are having a debate.
Okay, watch. Otherwise, Dr. Patra will keep complaining that I don't get the time. No, 1 second. Since Dr. Patra will otherwise keep complaining that I want to speak but I don't get the time, a question is asked by the Congress party representatives to you tonight. Answer the question.
It is your prerogative.
Answer her question.
You want to allow me? I have no problem.
Answer her question. Answer her question. Answer her question.
It is not my
Answer Ami Yagnik. Answer her if you can. Answer her question.
See, the Congress yesterday was all fire demanding a judicial probe. Yes, I agree that indefensible should never be defended. A judicial probe has been started. People have in fact lost their heads today, right from the additional secretary to the doctor. And well, yes, there is a word called as vicarious liability, according to which if the judicial probe or any probe points the finger towards the health minister, he also should go. He also should not stay. No one should protect the health minister. If the health minister has heard, if anywhere in any of the inquiry the health minister's role is established, he should definitely go. No one should protect him.
Okay, so the health minister should resign. So limit it, but he won't go above that. You see, Sambit Patra, my question is not health minister. My question is the chief minister. My question is the chief minister. 13 people died. You want to limit the damage to the health minister? Why? Why should it be limited to the health minister, sir? Please tell me.
No, you were asking for the health minister a while ago. What do you want to ask me
Why
now?
should the chief minister not resign as well?
Why should not
Why should the chief minister not resign as well?
The health minister, why not the American president? What do I say to
Please
that?
don't trivialize this. There are people who are angry. They are calling tonight.
No, I'm not trivializing. You are the one who asked me this question. I'm answering that. You opened your program by saying why the health minister should not go. I'm answering that. If by
Sir, because it is the chief. Now, Dr. Patra, one second. Dr. Patra, listen to me. Dr. Patra, listen to me. You're a doctor. I'm not. But let me ask you something. 1 second. Please don't trivialize it. Don't smile tonight. Because 13 women have died, they've been treated very badly, they died in terrible conditions. Your government drove them to their death.
I think there should be no cacophony.
Your government drove them to their death. Your BJP Chhattisgarh government drove these women to their death.
By having a cacophony.
And I am asking you, Mr. Patra, I am asking you one question. Please answer one question. If there was somebody from your family, someone close to you, would you allow them to attend a medical camp in which they were made to lie down on the floor and operated on in 4 minutes? Should human beings be treated like that?
I'd like to ask a question
Arnav, you have the right
Arnav.
of wishing my family. Arnav, you have the right of wishing my family this kind of thing, but I will never wish anyone's family this
I don't, please don't. No, but I wouldn't wish anyone's either. You know the point being asked in that question. The point being asked there is a question. Nobody would want their loved ones to suffer in that manner.
Being will not wish this for anyone's family.
Yes, but it has happened, Mr. Patra. But Dr. Patra, it has happened.
Yes,
it has happened.
There is a question that
I
needs to
take
be asked
offense
here.
when the anchor says that if this happens to your family,
Mr. Patra, I ask you a question which you understand the very context of the question. It should happen to nobody's family. But you 83 women made to lie down on the floor. 83 women made to lie down on the floor. And you know what, Mr. Patra? Mr. Patra, simple question, and understand the question out here. 8 out of the 83 women, is it true or not? Is it true or not? Is it true or not that there was pressure put on the doctor to meet targets? Are women, poor women, to be used to meet targets like guinea pigs? Do you use people as targets to guinea pigs to meet targets?
No one, be it poor woman or be it rich woman, be it poor man or be it rich man, no one should be used
But it happened, right?
Guinea pig. And the minister has said that we have laid down procedures, but the procedures are flaunted at the lower level. And that's the reason as to why ample number of people have been suspended.
But who put pressure on the doctor to meet targets? Whose targets are these?
Even the health minister.
Whose targets are these?
What else can I say?
Whose targets are these? Okay, 1 second, please. Kavita wanted to come in. I was asking whose targets are these?
I want
Whose
to say a
targets are
point
these?
about those targets. May I make a point, please?
Yeah.
I want to say that on 26 January this
Patra, I
year,
want to ask one question.
did not the
Patra, I want
Chhattisgarh
to ask one
government
question to you.
award the same doctor, give an award to the same doctor saying he has performed 1 lakh
Yes, they did.
surgeries? Essentially, what does that imply? That shows that what the Human Rights Watch report of showed quite recently.
Kavita
that
ji, do you have the
May I finish?
The list of how many surgeries
May I finish?
did within the span of years that the government awarded him?
No, the point is that you are. The point here is that you are awarding for bulk of surgeries. You are awarding doctors for performing bulks of surgeries, where promoting the individual rights of women has no value. Mass sterilization of women has value. That is awarded. And you punish the doctors who try to provide
No, it's not a separate question.
to the poorest of the poor so that they can have better control on their lives. That is the policy of the Chhattisgarh government, where you criminalize those who provide health care to the tribals, to the poor, and you award those and you set the health policy that ours is a health policy of mass sterilization. And while I hold the Chhattisgarh government responsible, I will also remind, however, Arnab, this point needs to be made. That's just a couple of years back, the same thing happened where there were botched surgeries. No deaths, but a large number of botched surgeries in Bihar. There were botched surgeries in Madhya Pradesh as well.
I am asking.
And therefore, the point I would like to make is that I think that the central government... 1 minute,
you see, 1 second, Sambit Patra.
Please let me finish.
Sambit, I want to remind Sambit the one incident which you speak about 2 years back.
Needs to come in here and say that this policy whereby we wink, we say officially, publicly, that we are not going for target-based population control, we are going for family planning.
What is this
but
target?
Essentially what it means is that you are going for target. The central government needs to step in and stop this kind of playing around with the lives and health of poor women. And it isn't just sterilizations. It isn't just sterilizations. The fact is that sterilizations is a favorite form of so-called family planning and contraception. It's the most invasive method. Why will you not promote non-invasive methods of contraception? And finally, the point is that it isn't just sterilization. You are allowing drugs like, which are hormonal implants to be marketed in India, to be targeting poor women in India, which have been shown to have, over the years, to have shown to have very terrible consequences on Indian women. And while holding the Indian government responsible, we also need to say that funding agencies like the UK's DFID, like the USA,
1 second,
Gates Foundation are funding
Kavita, minute, limited time. I have to take callers as well. We'll take Khushbu as well. But one point needs to be mentioned tonight. Sambit Patra. You know something? When a person... Sambit Patra.
Important question from Sambit Patra.
Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Rai, to Sambit Patra. Dr. Rai to Dr. Sambit Patra. Go ahead.
The Indian Medical Association is very much shocked. Honorable Supreme Court has given the verdict that no doctor will be arrested until and unless the crime has been proved or the negligence has been proved. Here, when everything is pointing towards the drug poisoning, or you can say the poisoning to the medicine, furious medicines, and the poor doctor has been arrested, administrative people are spared. Why so? Why the Honorable Raman Singh has not taken the care of this
Raman Singh does not have the guts to act against himself. Because Raman Singh doesn't have the
No, why
courage to
doctor
act
has been
against
arrested?
himself.
We have got objection for that one.
No, let me answer this
We
question.
are concerned for our own community also.
He
We
has
are shocked
concern
the human
for
being.
his fellow ministers. He does not have concern for poor people. Because otherwise, Mr. Sambit Patra,
Now it's changed.
in 1 second, Sambit Patra, in 2013,
Yesterday,
1 second,
on the Times
once,
Now debate, I was asked as to why the doctor was not arrested as yet. And today, Arnav, you say why the doctor has been arrested. I believe the...
I'm really sorry with Dr. Sambit Patra. I'm really sorry with Dr. Sambit Patra that you don't understand the basic logic of a question which is being asked to you. 13 people have died and you're smiling on the program. You're smiling. 13 people have died in such circumstances. You are smiling. For you, it is a subject, another issue to defend yourself on. I am asking you, Sambit Patra. I am asking you, is it true that your government... No, 1 second. अच्छे दिन सबके आने चाहिए संबित पात्रा जो गरीब है उनके आने चाहिए जो ट्राइबल्स है उनके आने चाहिए जो गरीब से गरीब है उनके अच्छे दिन आने चाहिए मैं सवाल आपसे पूछ रहा हूं ये सही है कि नहीं कि आपकी जो छत्तीसगढ़ में बीजेपी सरकार है उनके जो कैंप्स है उनमें 62 पीपल वर लेफ्ट ब्लाइंड पार्शियली ब्लाइंड आफ्टर बॉच्ड अप कैटरैक्ट कैंप्स 62 people become blind and 13 women die. It's nothing for you. You will laugh on the news.
ये बिल्कुल सही है कि अच्छे दिन आने चाहिए और उसी लिए
कब आएंगे इन गरीबों को ऐसे ट्रीट किया गया है
बैठा है और पूरे इस विषय में काम हो रहा है और नो
तो चीफ
मैं
मिनिस्टर
आज किसी को बचाने वाला नहीं हूँ चाहे वो हेल्थ मिनिस्टर भी क्यों ना हो
मैं मुख्यमंत्री की बात कर रहा हूँ आप डर क्यों रहे मुख्यमंत्री के नाम लेने के लिए आप डर क्यों नहीं why are you scared of saying the chief minister should resign if it was a congress chief minister you'd be saying he should resign
आपको लगा था कि मैं हेल्थ मिनिस्टर के लिए भी एग्री नहीं करूंगा
मैं तो आपको मुख्यमंत्री की बात पूछ रहा हूँ आप बताइए मुझे
चले गए हैं थोड़ी देर के बाद प्राइम मिनिस्टर पे जाएंगे
मैं मुख्यमंत्री की बात कर रहा हूँ you don't I am telling you where the responsibility lies with the chief minister because he knows that the state government is setting targets you're making human beings into guinea pigs go ahead do 80 operations in a day so my state government looks good so I can do some publicity on that and I can go around saying that you know what we meet targets we provide health care to people come on Sambit Patra
we made it clear that the rules
we made clear what
the late procedures were flaunted by the doctor.
Not flaunted, flouted, not by the doctor. And who gave the medicines?
But yet
who gave the medicines? Who gave the spurious drugs?
And that's the reason.
Who gave the spurious drugs? Who set the targets? Is that not relevant, Khushbu?
How do we know
who gave the spurious drugs? Who set the targets?
Have been sent to the Calcutta Research Center.
Calcutta Research, what rubbish?
For the report to come, for the tablets.
What absolute rubbish?
For the injectables.
And I'll tell you this. This government. No, 1 second. This Chhattisgarh government. 1 second. अच्छे दिन किसके आ रहे हैं? संबित पात्रा एक बात सुनिए अच्छे दिन किसके आ रहे हैं जो वहाँ पे छत्तीसगढ़ में राजनेता पॉलिटिशियंस उनके अच्छे दिन आ रहे हैं क्योंकि 1 second. खुशबू one thing